On 5 and dime, on 5 and, on 5 and, on 5 and dime, on 5 and, on 5 and, on 5 and dime, on 5 and, on 5 and, hey, yeah, you lie, on 5 and dime, 5 and dime. Got on the phone, hit a Big Mac, put me on the show so we can chit chat, blow smoke, sit back, I dunk, but I bet somebody gon' sip yak, yeah, this that, got a mad, you can hit a lip smack, been whipping up until the wrist snap, ain't taking no breaks, no Kit Kats, like the big homie say, it's all big facts, sound like a good time, so I'm in that, time to go live, yeah, spin that, looking so fly, in my in hat, like a 4-5, we about to kick back, chop it up, never know who's popping up, so what you doing, where you been at, march with us, rock with us, can't wait until I can spin back. On 5 and dime, on 5 and, on 5 and.
How we doing, fellas? Welcome to show 40.
Let's go.
Hold on. Was that
going over the hill?
Was that your own theme music?
Yeah.
That was King Crime.
We got with a local artist, King Crime, and he made us our own intro.
That's dope.
And we're actually going through a rebranding right now, and this might be the last time we play that because he's redoing it because we separated the studio from the podcast.
Okay.
The podcast is called Long Bus Short Thoughts. So I hit him up and was like, look, man, I got some real work for you. I need you to rewrite, whatever you got to do, but it's got to be long bus short thoughts.
That was really cool, though. That's when you know you mean business, when you have your own theme music.
Right.
And like
we started off the other way.
Yeah, we started out with just a regular beat that we got from
a little sample.
Yeah.
Okay, is that when you were rapping on that one?
I can keep a beat, but there is no rapping in me. Not at all. I can't even dance well.
Oh man.
And Houston, what makes it even weirder is that's my nephew that I just found like 4 years ago.
Okay.
And on a whim, he was talking to him where we didn't know we were talking to him for him to be doing the music for this.
Well, how the hell did you find out this was your nephew?
Through that 23andMe, man. Just through all that, because I was adopted at 4.
Oh, okay.
So it was crazy because, of course, being around the music.
That's crazy.
Being around the music world, when you go researching, like when I took a name on Facebook, I took the name of the one person that kind of related to me, which was not him. It was another kid. And having so many connections, like with other artists and other kids about his age, it made it easy for him to feel like he could talk to me instead of like if you go to some random and you have no one in common.
So this is your blood nephew.
Yeah.
That you found from 23andMe.
Yeah.
I probably got somebody in Zimbabwe.
Let's see what he got going on.
So let me get the business out of the way real quick. We're going to ask you to like, share, subscribe. We do have a sponsor. Our sponsor is Habit Glass and Goodies here in town. They got 3 locations, one over off of Florence, one on 84th and J, and one on 101st and Maple. We got Steve, we got Kendall from Wired Access, we got Rich, we got Danny, and we got Houston, the Assassin Alexander.
What up?
In the building.
Hey, thanks for having me. Ladies and gentlemen, we're in a room full of bald guys.
Oh yeah.
Some are high knee with hats. but that's crazy.
But we wear well.
Thanks for having me. Yeah,
we wear well.
There you go.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
There was a time Jason was in here and he was like, I'm in a room full of giants.
And then I fucking walked in. And then Rick walked
He's like, all right, I feel good. I feel comfortable now.
So, man, I could do a 12-minute intro on all the things that you're into. So I'm just going to ask the people to go to Google at this point.
Man.
Bro, 52 years old.
Okay.
Currently 4-0 in the bare knuckle boxing.
Yes, sir.
Bro, I've seen the fights. I watched them on YouTube. You're getting after it, man.
Bare knuckle is a lot easier than MMA.
Really?
Yeah, man, please. Yeah, I've been doing bare knuckle ever since I was 8. That's one martial art I'm good at. Yeah, but
all them guys.
But it's all the stuff that people don't know before the YouTube and before all the the blogs, and it was the the stuff when we had Yahoo Sports.
Oh,
That's how far back it goes.
That's way back.
Yeah, when we made Yahoo Sports when we thought we were the shit.
What was it before Facebook?
MySpace.
MySpace.
Yeah.
So
I went back and checked it a few. You still got your stuff on there.
man, but it's crazy. That when we first started off in 2002, it was in a bar in Omaha, right off of Center Street.
Yeah.
Club Amnesia.
That's right.
Club
With Chad
Amnesia.
Chad Mason presents when he started doing fights over there.
Yep.
That's when you could smoke in the bars. Oh man! And one of my matches.
They don't know that. The kids these days don't know that.
Oh man! You take your ass outside.
Yeah. They don't know that.
But it was crazy because we were fighting it. This picture it was like one of them blood sport type movies where you had this ring in the middle of a bar. You had all these screaming people for blood on the side, and you had all this smoke. Just people got cigarettes in their mouths, and it's crazy. It was just like
a good time.
It was fun. It was funny.
Yeah, it's man. So you also DJ 89.7 The River.
I have been. Well, actually, that's a radio show.
Oh, okay,
we're
the
Short
Culture
T.
Shock. Yeah,
Culture Shock Radio. But disc jockey or on air personality.
Yeah,
There you go.
That's what that would be.
but you
Been doing that for a long time.
you dance, you do, man. Like I said, we could go on about this for hours, man.
Man,
A
you
little bit of
gotta be a jack of
a
all
little
trades,
bit of
right, fellas?
everything.
You already
Yeah,
know.
you gotta be a
They
jack.
asked me, they're like, how do you do what you do? You got it.
Just get your ass up and do it.
Yeah. Exactly. Get up and go.
You're 52 years old, bro, and you don't even look a day.
Man, you gotta stay in there. You gotta stay in the gym, man. You gotta stay in. A lot of the time, I tell a lot of the younger people, whether you're a female or male, you gotta stay in the gym. And if you're trying to take care of yourself, you got to take care of yourself internally and externally. So
For sure.
So that's I do colon cleansing. And it's crazy because I go on everybody's show and I talk about this, but you're getting your colon cleansed and your intestines and all that flushed out.
Yeah.
Man, it prevents a lot of health risk that both men and women have. So,
Okay.
you're sitting there with a tube up your ass, and you're watching all this stuff come out of your body from your intestines, your liver, and your colon, and you'd be amazed at what you see coming out.
Now, is this a monitored thing to a doctor, or you do this as
No, this is not at home. Oh shit! I clean my colon in the bathroom.
Rich is like, I got a hose.
I got the detachable head shower head. I'm good, right?
Rich was about to hit me up and say, "Can you hook me up? Let's put it together on the toilet. We need to get this shit routed."
Oh, that's not a colon cleansing. That's something else.
Oh man!
But shit. My the person I go to, she flushes. You fills up your stomach, and reverses the flow, and you get to see it all coming out. And it's crazy. But after you're leaving the place, you feel like, man, you feel much better.
Wow.
And I try to do it quarterly because of all the food that we eat, all the processed food we eat.
Poison that's in our food.
So you just don't know.
Yeah.
So I've been doing that for the past couple of years now.
I need to find my way to a gym. It's hard out where I'm at because
you can have a gym in your own house.
well, my son and I have started walking and stuff. And,
Okay, it's always a start.
Yeah, and I'm down 45 pounds. I was 360. I'm down to like 315. Being kind of stuck at the 315 though. But he's been my motivation. He was kind of getting made fun of at school, about being a little heavy, and he wanted to get out and do it, and it became him and I every morning. Not every morning, but
Shit.
most mornings
You
we get out and do
post
that.
at least 5 times a week, bro.
I mean, most mornings we get out and go for a walk.
But your son's biggest motivation is you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and just
So
crazy
and
because
that's
he's
cool.
mine.
See, and there you go. So, but the number one rule to the game of any type of exercise, and if you're out of shape, when you can't see your penis or vagina, you in trouble. There you go.
Big facts. But yeah,
So, are you guys sure you want me? You sure you want me on your podcast? I see a lot of crazy shit.
It's I have
You gonna fit in perfect, bro.
When you gotta tuck, you gotta tuck and roll.
Hey, I see a couple buttons already from you. So
like I said, I done lost some weight, so I'm recently reacquainted with. So
Hey, how's it going? How's it going?
You're like, yeah. Hello.
We still do exist.
and then he looked up at you and said, "Bro, I'm hungry. Feed me."
Oh, shit. I said like crazy stuff, y'all. My bad.
no, we're here to have fun.
Open.
That's what this
good
is
laughs.
about. Let's
man.
have fun. So, you started in MMA 2001, but prior to that, what fed your? I mean, was it the parents getting you into fighting a little bit, or was it just growing up? You had the fights in the street.
You know what? This probably a natural ability. You know, I've always I came from East St. Louis to Illinois. You know, that place was pretty rough. So, and I just remember the first time I got into a fight. I was 7 years old, and there was a group of kids in East St. Louis, and I do remember the school, Canada Elementary.
Huh.
Guys tried to take my Snickers candy bar.
There we go.
Okay.
Dang.
And guess what? It was three or four of these guys trying to take my candy bar. And guess what they did not do? They didn't take my candy bar. because Snickers in the 70s was no joke.
Yeah. No shit, bro.
This is gold.
I know that. Yeah.
Snickers in the 70s was
And they weren't $2.
Oh man! So it was crazy, man. But you know, I just always had to take up for myself, and my brother, because you know he would get into some things, and always had to take up for him, and I just came from a place where you just didn't let people bully you.
Yeah. All right. See, I had to fight, obviously, just kind of for my brother too, but didn't take it to the MMA level. I sometimes wish I would. I look at some fighters and I'm like, man, I wish I could do that. And then I stand up and I'm like, oh
man, I was dared. I was dared to go to a Club Amnesia. Yeah. I was there. A friend of mine, Ann Houston, she's part of one of the break dancing crews I was at. And she had went to an event at a Club Amnesia, and she was like, "Hey, they're doing this fighting there at the because they kind of wrestled and boxed around anyway already." And she dared me to get into the ring, and they put me in the ring with some guy who was winning like 4 weeks straight, and there was some big guy from UNO, and it was probably one of the bloodiest fights I've ever been in. Really? And probably one, it was. Yeah,
it wouldn't go down. Huh?
It's online. It's online somewhere. And this guy was like 6'3". I'm 6 foot, and this guy 6'3". Man, that was crazy. It was my first fight, and I ended up beating this guy. So
all right, and that kind of sparked that maybe I should have pursued this a little bit.
The promoter Chad Mason took interest in me, and then I came back ever since.
Yeah. Nice.
So it's just one of those times where they saw the money. They saw the money.
So before it was just fighting. I mean, did you have any disciplines then, or then?
No, man. I boxed and I wrestled a little bit.
Okay,
but I was great street.
But once the MMA started, then you started.
I started training. I started training right after going to Club Amnesia because of the promoter took interest in seeing how tough I was.
Okay, that's awesome.
That's what's up.
Yeah. Everybody has a little tough in them when you have to be tough, right?
Yeah. But obviously, at 52 years old, to still be fighting bare knuckle, you got to have a.
It's just a hobby right now, you know.
That's called crazy.
Yeah. I got love on my neck, but you know, but see, MMA it's always been a hobby to me. I've been doing other things all throughout my career, but MMA was just a hobby to me, and just like the bare knuckle thing, it's a hobby that I enjoy doing because to me it's a little easier than MMA. No takedowns, no elbows, no getting kneed. It's just mano a mano, hands. That's straight up.
Yep. So you have the Houston Alexander Foundation.
Yep.
Kind of trying to help, the youth and education empowerment, essentially, and
that came with radio.
Okay.
So, got into it with High 107.7 was a radio station in town with NRG Media, and two friends of mine, Busy B and DJ Rip, had got they were supposed to be a startup radio station to go up against 94-1. All right, and so they brought us in to do so, and they recruited me, and they were asking for a program to go into the communities, and I always had this idea of going into the schools and teaching the kids about hip hop culture. Okay. Because no one coming up knows anything about the hip hop culture. All they know is that they what they hear on radio or what they see on TV.
Right.
And so
the mainstream.
When I brought the idea to them, we would go to schools and we would bring break dancers, we would bring DJs, we would bring rappers, and we would talk to them about where the culture came from. Yep. And we got that idea from High 107.7 NRG Media. Now it's Weight Radio, and that was our start.
Okay,
that's awesome.
And we are big fans of trying to get the kids, any kind of advantage or help that we can. Yeah. You know what I mean? Just we all grew up, maybe a little bit lacking, and have realized as we've gotten older what a little help could have gone a long way. So
I don't think it was lacking. I don't think it was just something that if it was something you weren't interested in. I don't think you really got into it until later, until you got older, because no one at 8 or 7 years old back in our day we were introduced to rap unless they were really interested in,
right?
Unless you heard NWA or Eazy for the first time. Right. So it's just something that you would have to be interested in growing up if you wanted to get involved.
Right.
See, and I love the music. I'm from the Bronx. I'm from New York.
Oh, where?
Born 1980, so.
Oh, yeah,
I know the culture. You know what I'm saying? I know what real hip hop is and all that stuff. And I mean, and for you to be doing, going and teaching all that, that's cool because, there's a lot of ingrained roots that these kids these days don't know what don't know what real music is. From the Bronx to Nebraska.
Right.
Yeah. That's crazy, Bronx man. To Nebraska. How did you end up in Nebraska? Because now I'm going to tell you something. It had to be a few ways, either family, friends, education, or Air Force, or the military.
No military. So no, I'm a child. My mom's only child. May she rest in peace. I was in the streets.
Okay.
She, long story short, what I'm saying, got, attached to Omaha. She heard about some things that I was involved in back. What I'm saying.
How did your mom find out about Omaha though? Now, Mutual of Omaha Wild Kingdom.
No.
Right.
That's how I found out about it.
My mom, she had moved to Cali.
Okay.
And then met a gentleman that was in the military who was from Nebraska. So when he went to reserve, they moved out here.
Okay, word.
Well, shit, then, I'm her only child. And she was like, if I'm going to get my son out of New York, my son's going to die. You know what I'm saying?
A lot of people who came up in the early years of hip hop moved out. There's a lot of people that, like KRS-One and those guys, they all live in Atlanta. Oh, yeah. A lot of those guys who helped first foundation the culture, they're all gone.
Yeah, I mean, it was I always tell people I bumped my head, but I wouldn't change it for nothing. You know what I'm saying? But I know I was born in the 80s, so in the hip-hop
you saw the burnt up buildings and the matches,
the only building on the block. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and the mattresses out there in the alleyway where everybody's jumping. Yep, there you go.
Yep.
So what brought you to Omaha?
Domestic violence.
Oh, yeah.
Really? Wow.
No, my mom was coming out of an abusive relationship, and I had an aunt who moved here a couple of years before, and she said, "Hey, come on to Nebraska."
It's funny,
and that was it.
It's funny is that I'm from St. Louis.
So we're from East St. Louis.
So I'm from South City.
Okay.
So I ended up in Omaha because of the same exact.
See, the two. There we go.
Crazy.
Yeah.
So we all have a lot of it. If you look at it, and even in the men in this room, we all have something in common.
Absolutely. Oh, yeah. That's why we get along so great too.
Outside of bald heads.
Outside the fact you can play a game of pool at this table.
Yeah, man.
So I wanted to say I've been following you in your graffiti.
Okay.
Bro, the walls, the murals are amazing.
I've been doing graffiti ever since I was 10. So I was one of those guys out there, and this is after watching a few break dancing movies in the B Street, Wild Style, Star Wars, and these some of the earlier hip hop movies, and I was already into drawing comic characters. and a friend of mine, he moved from L.A. and his name was Cujo, and Cujo he was one of the first guys to show me graffiti letters.
Okay.
And ever since then, I kind of me and him got together and we formed a group called the Scribble Crew. And this was in middle school, and from that time on, I would go and practice in old warehouses and stuff, and I thought it was Ramo from Beat Street. I thought it was that guy from Beat Street, but ever since then, I just went out and just started painting.
So it's all
been
spray
painting
paint.
ever since.
So you still mess with the big pilot markers and stuff, doing some tagging up and all that.
See, so you can't be from the Bronx and not be tagging.
Yeah.
Bro, your murals are beautiful. I saw one was recently defaced. That was upsetting.
No. Actually, see, and this is the funny thing. This is how social media works. There was a mural that was done in L.A. of Kendrick Lamar. Mm-hmm. And he recently came out with this song about them defacing his mural, and all I did was just put a caption up saying, they first they love you, then they hate you, and they crossed his mural out, and this was probably, I don't know if it was some gang stuff or whatever, but that was the whole point in putting that up. And I did a mural about maybe 2 or 3 weeks earlier at this place called Culture House. And it was and I did something like that just to make sure you keep the knife sharp a little bit. But yeah, I still do graffiti every once in a while.
Okay,
but yeah, that was something that was done in LA, and I was just putting light to it. Yeah, putting light to it.
I like graffiti a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Well, I like that you brought up the breaking. Olympics obviously had the break dancing. What was it like being someone from the original culture here and understanding it? Was it eye-opener, or was some of it kind of, this isn't what it's supposed to be?
It was cool because I talked to a lot of the OGs, that helped this culture move forward. And a lot of them didn't like the b-boying in the Olympics. They just saw it as another way of it being commercialized, and and that it belonged in in circles and in the streets. And I don't mind it, but I don't like the buffoonery that surrounds it when and the young lady that was in there that got all the attention. I don't even have to mention her name, but she got all the attention for her style of dance. Okay, but right now you probably can remember her in that green outfit.
Yeah,
but you can't remember the guy who won.
You're right.
Yeah. Or the young lady that won
That's
in
facts.
any category. So that's why a lot of the OGs was probably like, man, we got these people that are halfway across the world, and none of the OGs were invited to judge. None of the people who started the dance or helped move the dance forward were invited to judge. And then that was kind of, and there was a whole bunch of goofiness to it. So, but it was still cool. It was a good look, but it wasn't a good look at the same time.
It was a good look that turned bad.
It was something that was bad. It was just the fact that they put the whole emphasis on one person.
But see, that's the way I kind of feel like when I see the Jake Paul and Tyson thing. Like I feel like,
oh man, that was so bad.
I feel like
don't let me get started.
No, but for me, I feel like it affects boxing just as much as anything else because
no, it don't.
You don't think so?
Let's get started.
No, I don't. You know why?
Started.
Because
let's do that. That's from an actual fighter's perspective. Let's get started. Let's have that conversation.
Man, you don't have to be a fighter to see what we saw. You can pity pat,
and we know the math on the deal, and I get it.
The dollars on the
line. And I was and shouts out to my man Crash, up there at NRG Media. At Weight Radio, he asked me what I thought was going to happen. I said it was going to be staged. That's straight up.
Yeah. I'll tell you this: staged. I will never spend money on a Jake Paul. Well, obviously we didn't spend any money, right? I will never spend money or waste my time ever watching a Jake Paul fight.
But you know what? Don't say that because you're going to watch the next one. You know why? So? And this is why you're going to do that.
Because he's going to lose.
Because he's not going to lose. Because as long as he's putting up the money. He's not losing. Well, he lost with the guy,
Fury,
the one guy,
to
an actual boxer. Yeah, but we're in this time and era where we can't stop looking. We can't watch that because even after the fact, you still saw all the memes.
Yeah, okay.
You saw all the small videos.
For me,
you still saw.
You're right.
For me,
Still
the
saw.
fights before were so good.
Yeah.
It was not. It was the crap ending. It was the
Because-
toilet bowl ending. You know what I mean? Like,
They didn't put the money up. They had something. They had something they wanted to prove. Jake Paul, look, Tyson didn't. He didn't throw any combinations.
No.
He just stood there. He stood there.
He wasn't moving fast.
Yeah, everybody's like he's limping. No, look, I'm gonna tell you something.
I seen somebody said he had a cane. I was like, motherfucker, where did you see a cane?
I don't care. No, and it could have been before the fight.
Yeah, there was a time he did because he was going through some stuff.
But fellas, I don't care. I don't. And as a fighter who trains and a guy who's way probably at a different level than I am as far as boxing.
Sure.
The instincts always kick in.
Yeah.
So if Jake hit him, his instinct should have been to go. But guess what? To me, it was in the cards for like, hey, I need you. I'm gonna give you this $20 million.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna work off your clout.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna work off your fame. And I'm gonna respect you. And I'm gonna give you this money. And you just gonna do what you do. Hey, and that's all he did. He just paid him for his
appearance.
Yeah, his appearance. That's all.
Yeah.
So $10 million, you gonna fight Jake Paul? 10
million. And see, here's the thing. Yeah, if I take the money, I'm going to whoop his ass. I'm not going. Yeah. He's gonna be trying to hug me and whisper in my ear. Hey, stop! I've seen that. No. I'm going after that guy. And notice he's not going after no real. Hey, he's not going after no. He's not putting no real killers in here in the ring with him. And again, I wasn't. And I'm gonna be honest with you. Also, I was not a Paul Brothers fan at all. But look at this. And look at it this way. It is what it is because they're promoters on the internet. Yep. And if you know what they are, then I can be mad at them because they got the followers, they got the money, and they're still feeding people.
Yep.
And seeing that, and it's a celebrity. It's a celebrity deal, so you can't get mad at them. And I was like, I had to sit back and like, you know what? I can't be mad at them because if people are stupid enough,
right,
to watch this guy, who comes from Disney. Okay, they come from Disney, right? I think they come from Disney, and if they have the followers, and if we're in this time and age where people are watching the internet the way they are, I'm not mad at that, man. If you're going to be goofy enough to give these guys $20, $25 for a pop on and watching them fight somebody, hey, this is all good.
Oh,
he's winning. He's winning, and I'm not mad at that.
Netflix gained a bunch of viewership.
Netflix, they didn't lose nothing.
They didn't lose nothing.
If you already, most everybody has Netflix, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, and then you're watching it afterwards on the YouTube.
Yep.
And Netflix gets paid anyway.
Yep.
Even after watching the small clips that they put on. So come on, man. They all winning.
Well, hopefully Jake Paul reach out to you because I can't imagine the good you could do. No, I get that.
He's not doing that.
A fellow bare knuckle, Mike Perry. What you feel about that one?
And I'm gonna tell you that off top, they don't want to put me in the ring with that dude either because Mike Perry get it. Like anybody they put in front of me, as far as the bare knuckle goes, they'll get anybody to get it. Because I don't care, what it is. That's my mentality. Anybody will
instinct, get it. That instinct.
Anybody get it, and that's why I know Tyson was paid.
So he was
paid to just sit there because his instinct should have just automatically kicked in at least for a good minute.
From a fighter's perspective, it's good to hear, right? Because it wasn't just us. It's not just
you hear it come from Floyd. You hear it come from like Bud Crawford. You don't play the fight game. You know what I'm saying? And Paul, in a sense, I mean, yeah, he's getting his content. He's making his money. That's playing. You know what I'm saying? You actually playing. Yeah, when you got in there with a real boxer, you got.
But see here, and also with the Jake Paul, you can't discredit him either because he does train.
He does.
Yeah, he does train, and he is putting in the work.
Correct.
So again, that's why I couldn't be mad at him because he is putting the time and the effort to have people come out, train with them. And again, he's feeding people. He's still feeding people. So
that's true.
We got to look at it that way, man.
Yep. I'm just saying, I think you could do a lot of good with $10 million.
Okay, I'll bite his nose off.
Put that in the contract, Jake.
It'd be looking like that skeleton guy on that one TV series. Skeletor. Not even Skeletor. I think it's a cowboy. You know what I'm talking about.
There was one. It's a.
The guy's walking around in the zombie apocalypse with looking like a skull guy.
What's that? The Walking Dead?
No. It's not that. I'm gonna go there.
Only thing that comes into my head is Ghost Rider. That's fine.
So, where did your want to help the community come from?
And I've always done that. Ever since I was 13 years old, man, I've been doing stuff in the community. And again, it started with doing the murals, and it started with trying to help help others. I think that was something that was always been embedded in me through my family. Helping others and respecting others. Because even in today's society, when everybody's so disrespectful, if I respect you, I expect the same respect back.
Absolutely.
So, and guess what? If I don't get the same respect back, guess what I'll do? Walk away from you. You won't ever have to see me again. Yeah. So that's just bottom line. You don't have to argue with nobody. You don't have to sit there and finger point. Guess what? I'm just gonna leave you alone.
Right.
That's it.
That's the best thing to do. Right?
I'm dead serious. Yep. A lot of lives could have been saved in arguments or anything like that if you just walk away.
Right.
But don't put your hands on me because I'll bite your nose off. A little different outside the ring. I'm ripping your ears, biting your nose off.
Oh yeah,
you're not gonna have a chin.
You're not gonna have a
chin. Don't fight fair outside the ring. But I don't put.
There's no commission on this.
I learned when I was 10 years old. There's no such thing as a fair fight.
Not outside the ring.
I got whooped every day, bro.
We've all watched you fight, man. You don't give any mercy on these guys. I mean, you go in and you're in it for the first 2 minutes. You are fucking annihilating.
But just imagine this though. Before YouTube, no one saw the fights that got me there.
But so
the fights that got me there was the ones when people were getting pulverized.
Right.
There was a 300-pound guy in Des Moines that he was maybe 400 pounds. I slammed him so hard we went through the ring. He went through the ring.
Shit.
Oh shit!
And broke the board. And I'm sure there was a guy that was filming out there. I'm sure he got that on VHS.
Come on, use the converter.
If he's out there somewhere watching, that'd be great to get that footage. But there was a lot of fights that people didn't see that was before YouTube. And even before I got to the UFC, they were trying to find footage of me and couldn't find it because there was no YouTube. There was no, there was no videotapes out there that was circulating.
Social media
they didn't know how good I was.
Kimbo slice fight.
That's like,
come on, man.
I mean, you gonna bring that? You just gonna bring that?
Yes, sir. You
but
got
it's
it, man.
Because and I'm gonna tell you this also on you guys' podcast. Me and Kimbo sat there and we had our face off. I watched Kimbo shake. I literally watched him, and we was looking at each other, and then he was. I don't know if he was nervous.
Sorry,
I
wasn't pissed.
And this is on me. This is on me and my children. I watched this man shake. He was just shaking like I don't know if it was the spotlight or because I was used to all this stuff. I followed.
Yeah, he was just getting in. He was just getting in.
But he was just the cameras and all that stuff.
Oh,
but I think he was shaking, and so and with that fight, a lot of people don't know that they weren't even counting kicks back then. Fellas, what are they counting nowadays?
Everything.
Kicks, strike. Now kicks are strikes, and so. But back then, when we was inflicting damage with the kicks, and the whole point was to kick the guy and have him rush me, and I was going to hit him with the elbow because he was susceptible to the elbow. Mm-hmm. He just stood there. And say everybody's like, "Oh man, all you did was circle and kick him." We tried to bait him in, and thought he was going to rush. We thought he was going to rush, and I was going to hit him with that overhand elbow, but he never did. He just stood there. So if you go back and watch the first round, he just stood there and watched me circle him and kick him. That's all he did. So and then I'm following a game plan, and I'm trying to follow a game plan, and that's what got people twisted up because they're like, man, just get in there and start beat each other up. He didn't do anything either.
Yeah.
People didn't start tussling and start moving around until after the into like the second round.
Yeah.
And then when he got the takedown, everybody's like, "Oh man, people don't know how soft that mat is. It's that mat is like real soft and it's really slippery. So when he took me down, I was like, "Oh, okay, that's cool." But then as soon as he took me down, I went out the back door.
Yeah,
pause. When I went out the back door.
Don't forget the pause.
Don't forget the pause.
But yeah, I got right back up. And say in the third round, and also because just bringing this up, if you watch the beginning of the third round, when he came in, guess what I ended up doing? Hitting him with the elbow.
I was gonna say
I hit him with the overhand. I hit him with the overhand elbow. We were trying to get him to
bait that the whole time.
And actually, I think one of them did catch him because he was hurt.
Yeah,
from watching the video.
And also when I kicked him in the second round and he went down.
Yeah,
I was like, "Oh, get him!" And they said, I don't know if we were faking or not. So that's what I shouldn't have hesitated. But into the second round, when he tried to take me down the second time, okay, I ended up on top of him, and guess what? Because I was about to let him have it. As soon as he slipped, and I ended up on top of him, and I was about to let him have it. Guess what happened? The bell.
Saved
so
by
he got
the bell.
he literally got saved by the bell in the second round because he tried to go for the same takedown, but I went around him this time and I ended up on top of him, and I was just going to but rest in peace to Kimbo because he's another guy that went from doing all the backyard the brawling and got himself in the position to where everyone loved him.
Yeah.
And so even though we thought we were up in points because I was kicking them and we thought they were counting the kicks as points and strikes. Nah, they weren't trying to do all that. Not back then. But guess what they do now? They count everything because the judging is different. Everybody knows that the kicks are effective.
Well, that and they also brought back the 12-6 elbow too.
Yeah. So see again,
there's a lot of
the judging is different. So if it had to boil down, if we had the same judging back then, we would have won it back then. But he was the popular guy at the time. Yeah. The end. Big shouts out to Kimbo Slice and his family.
Yes. Amen.
Yes, sir.
Amen.
You got any fights on the horizon?
Oh man, I'm working with the bare knuckle people right now, man. I don't like sitting outside the ring, and again, even though this is to me, I stay training. That's why you see me always in sweat clothes all the time. But we're working on hopefully something at the beginning of next year.
Okay.
And don't get it twisted. We know Father Time is undefeated.
Yes.
But right now I'm feeling pretty good. And if the work is reflecting what I'm doing in the ring, why not?
Take advantage.
And it's just it's just a hobby. It's just something that keeps me in shape, and it just keeps me focused on making sure I'm staying in shape.
I'm 10 years younger than you, dude, and not in near the shape. Really, it is kind of
genetics have something to do with that too, though.
Man. I don't know if genetics came, with all these cheeseburgers.
Can I get that number 2? Can I?
King size.
It takes
But
skill.
a diet Dr. Pepper.
It takes skills to order in the drive-thru, brother. It takes skills.
My biggest problem was, man, I used to order 2 meals.
But you're a big guy.
I was dedicated.
But man, you're a big guy. but you're a big guy though.
Yeah.
So man, hey, you're a big guy.
Yeah, I would like to lose another 50 pounds, get down to the 270s.
And don't get it twisted, ladies and gentlemen. It is what we eat, it is the time at the times we eat as well. Yeah. Because if you go to bed and you eat a full steak meal, and you go to bed at 8 and 9 o'clock, that sits on you. That sits on you, and that's when you start gaining that weight, and and you start not wanting to get up, and it just makes your body feel a whole different.
I'm going to do that right now. I just had surgery. I just had surgery 2 weeks ago, so I'm just now starting to see if I got an appointment tomorrow. See if I can get back into the gym because I love going to the gym. I mean, it makes me feel great because since I haven't been in the gym,
fellas, half the battle is showing up, and it's mental. Yeah. People don't think that it is mental.
It's a game against yourself.
Yeah, it is. It's all mental,
and that's the hardest game you're ever going to lose or win. It's
tough.
Taking it from two guys from St. Louis.
Yeah, it's the hardest battle you're ever going to fight.
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah. Shit, I fight it every morning. I mean,
but that's the point.
Let me to get out on my walk.
Yeah,
it's 20 degrees.
Yeah.
I'm like, ugh.
And that's why I continues to tell Steve, "Fuck your feelings."
Oh, but it's good that you guys have this podcast, man, and because you got a group of men who are expressing themselves, and health and entertainment is all. It's that's what it's all about, man. And life is about health and entertainment at this point.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, I agree. I have come a long way in the last 5 or 6 years. I was depressed as hell and really realized how much of it was me letting myself be depressed.
But see, again, it's the things that you eat and then the non-activity.
Yeah,
it always happens, man.
Yep. When I started walking and really the physical activity is what started it, and there was a couple months where I kind of fell off again and stopped walking, and I noticed that I was heading down.
Your mental health takes a toll.
I was headed
being
to
physical
shit.
takes a toll on your mental health, and that's for sure.
And it's good that we're talking about this in 2024, soon to be 2025.
Right.
Yeah. Mental game.
This show is going to come out like 5 days before.
Yeah, I think December 27th is.
As they always said, you depressed, go to the gym.
Yeah.
You upset, go to the gym.
But a lot of time people don't make it.
Yeah.
people don't make it, man. So
you're right.
Yeah, and that's the gym out where I'm at. They won't let Diesel in, and he's like the key.
But now remember, you still have a gym at your house. So you still can do push-ups. You still can do sit-ups. You still can do those things that require your body.
You can do the Tyson squats. Do the Tyson squats. Go ahead.
This thing I swole guys in prison get.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's not from the weight piles. It's from, if you're on 24-hour lockdown and you got a partner, you guys are working out. So,
So I hadn't done push-ups. I've been doing them off the wall for a long time, and I had a buddy have me hyped up, and I went down to do 20 push-ups, and when I was done with my 20, man, I ended up with tennis elbow. I'm still recovering from this shit. It is so dumb.
Because you get to your own weight, man.
Everybody's like,
months ago.
You say what?
That was like 4 months ago.
Everybody's like, Houston's coming. I was telling my wife this morning, I'm like, I got to shake this man's hand. Everybody's like, he got this handshake that's like a Goliath.
But what was the first thing I told you after that handshake?
Oh,
I said that was my jerk off hand.
Oh, you did.
I like that shit, man. How does that
tennis elbow,
shit.
Tennis elbow.
Tennis elbow doing quite all right for that one, huh?
You sure we want me on the show?
You gotta use a stranger.
Oh, that was good shit.
Dude, that tennis elbow cleared up real quick.
That shit does not bother me anymore.
Well, the dumb shit is I'll get it feeling better. Like I'll do the exercise and get it feeling better, and then you go to jack off.
Let me put you guys upon another aspect of the health game. Beta alanine is good for your body.
What's that?
It's something that it's for your muscles and it helps you recover, and it's like a natural substitute for any type of food. But beta alanine is really good for your body after recovery. It stops you from getting sore, et cetera, et cetera.
So you're obviously a very fit guy, right? I mean, you're fighting for a living. You take care of yourself very.
There's a lot of activities you got, man. I do so much. I have to make sure that I'm. Obviously, like this Gary Brecka, right? Dana White has all this stuff going on too with Brecka. Brecka? I'm not familiar with the Brecka. What is that?
You're not familiar with Gary Brecka?
No.
Okay. He's a human biologist.
Okay.
So I mean, he talks about all these different supplements and what do they call that? The stuff that's already broke down, Rich. What is that?
For Brecka?
Well, so it's just like how your body breaks down certain.
And I think what your point being is.
Like, what are you doing? Like what he talks about.
He says he does the colon cleansing. He does.
I think you were talking about as far as eating and some supplements.
Like supplements, like what are you making sure you get enough of? What's
You know what the one thing
like
that I
the
had to switch
proteins
up
and stuff like that.
Yeah,
like
one thing that I had to switch up was because I was taking a lot of supplements and I'm thinking I had to take the protein, the creatine, and this and this and that. You know what the bottom line was and end up having to do? Just eating. Just eating, just eating the protein.
Basically the natural whole food.
Not even natural. Just eating because a lot of times you get a guy saying, "Oh man, I want to bulk up." Just eat. Just eat. And eating and work out.
Easy for guys like me to bulk up, right?
What are you doing to counteract the bulking?
Correct. I'm eating like shit. I work 12 hours a day, 10 hours a day. Obviously, probably eat right before I go to bed because that's the only fucking time I get. And obviously, it doesn't work well for me. Clearly,
but remember, we all have different body types, and our body reacts different to everything.
Right.
So but if having this conversation that we're eating like shit. What is eating like shit? Going to fast food places.
So I heard this
and drinking soda or drinking a lot of alcohol. Those are things that abuse your body, man. And when there's no activity at all you're just
your body's just retaining that stuff.
It's just dormant. It's that your body's dormant.
Yeah. I heard this lady the other day. She said, one of her favorite quotes is if you don't choose to change, it's a choice, right? Like if you don't if you choose to settle, it's a choice.
You know what? Everybody has all this philosophy shit.
No, for sure.
And everybody has all these sayings and shit. You know what?
Just get up and move.
Get off your lazy ass.
Yeah.
And just do it. And because I thought, when Nike first came out, with that slogan, "Just do it," I thought that was the most stupidest slogan that I've ever heard. And this was what 20 years ago when they came out with this.
Yeah, it's even further.
But it makes sense.
And training with people, when I train with people, and I'm telling someone, I was like, man, just do it. I'm like, oh, perfect. And Nike came out with the best slogan, "Just do it, man. Half the battle is showing up. And no matter how, even if you eat crappy, if you're showing up to the gym every day to balance that out, man, you're good, man. You get those guys, or young ladies that start going to the gym and start, just want to do better for themselves. It starts mentally, and that is the best type of supplement you can have is make sure you're mentally focused.
So, like we said, man, it's a mental battle.
It's a mental battle.
100%.
Yeah, and a lot of people struggle with that today.
Ordering in the number 2 and McDonald's is easy.
Getting the large.
Goddamn, Steve.
You a small, medium, or large?
You can really impress me by ordering the kids meal. That's crazy.
That's not happening.
Right?
Well, the first time I didn't order 2 meals at the fast food place, my wife was like, "You good?
Are you feeling well?
You all right, huh?"
Okay, well then let's go around the table. What's your go-to restaurant?
For burgers?
Just anything.
Oh, for anything.
Go-to restaurant.
Man, really, we do. There's
So you're dragging it out.
It's out on 156.
What's the name of the restaurant?
Man, we don't eat out much. I live an hour north.
Oh, okay. So you don't eat out much.
No, we're at home on the smoker.
Why do you say you eat shitty then?
What?
If you don't eat out much.
It's like I don't eat enough vegetables, and I had a salad since
and you were working on. I mean, you were truck driving, so you were eating.
Oh, okay. So you were eating on the road.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I mean, there was a lot of sandwiches.
So what was your go-to place on the road?
Well, I took it in the truck. I was making sandwiches. Like I made homemade sandwiches to the point that I couldn't.
Liar.
No,
just fucking I was eating. He asked you what your go-to restaurant is. Motherfucker, say McDonald's.
What was your go-to?
I don't eat McDonald's or Burger King.
McDonald's, motherfucker.
He's a Hardee's. He's a Hardee's man.
What was your go-to?
Runza.
What was your go-to?
Upstairs.
She
makes everything from scratch, bro.
No, really?
Yeah.
So just before the upstairs.
Before her,
if I go to fast food, it's breakfast, and I'll do Hardee's for breakfast.
Hardee's for breakfast.
Yeah.
Too.
Actually, with McDonald's.
See, McDowell's, huh?
That's one of my.
For me, it would depend on what I like. I like the Whopper, but I also like
Bro, nobody gives a shit what you like. He's asking you a question.
Hold on. He's the two stopper. He's like, I go get my Whopper from here. I get the McDonald's fries.
It was just a simple question. It was a simple question.
Hey, Houston, he's about to tell you, I do it. Onions on it, take the pickles off.
I like the
Sometimes
bacon.
I like the tomatoes.
I like the bacon.
Sometimes I like to take the tomatoes off.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know what McDonald's is,
Coming to America, man.
Coming to
I know
America.
exactly what you mean.
That's a Thanksgiving tradition in my house is to watch Coming to America.
Oh, what's it? It's a classic, man. No matter how many times you watch that movie, it's still
great.
We turned it on. My wife is like, there's the part. The royal penis is clean. Your Highness.
man.
My wife looks at the kids like,
What's a penis?
He said weenus. It's your elbow. He said weenus.
With the internet, the kids know what penises are now.
Oh yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
We're behind the 8 ball. Our kids don't know anything.
When we were kids, you had to learn it from
Playboy.
The neighbor kid.
Playboys and porno.
The neighbor kid had to kind of tell
man.
you what the deal was.
The scrambled TV.
I was just gonna say the scrambled TV.
Right. Now
That's where you learn that shit from.
These kids thought everything works by 5. 6 maybe.
Yeah, it's bad.
Your parents had the VHSs under the bed.
Oh yeah.
So it's funny. That was funny.
Oh yeah. No.
Everybody had the VHS.
We all had.
And you rewind it to the spot. You rewind it to the spot.
Hey, I told my wife the other day, I said that moment when you may not have caught your parents having sex, but you saw the towel on the bed and now you know what it was for.
Oh, Jesus.
What's that blood on the towel for?
How do you guys keep that towel at the end of the bed? Hey, remember the whole water beds?
You guys sure you want me on the show?
Hell yeah.
Hey, this is what we do every day.
Hey, one of my kids was conceived on a water bed. I don't gotta lie.
Oh shit.
Bro, you slapped it, rolled the wave in.
You actually owned a water bed?
I did, yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Hey, I got to raise my hand.
Bro,
I had
because that's the age.
Man.
That's the age. I had a water bed.
And then you're like, why is it? Oh, there's a hole in the water bed. Get a towel, get it.
My aunt gave me her water bed in the late 90s. I had a water bed in the late 90s.
So
That's when I had my.
I had
sir.
a water bed in a shitty fucking house that didn't you fucking fill that water bed up, that queen size water bed. That's so much weight.
The floor.
It is.
The floor would creak.
You never really thought about that. How much?
No, I didn't. I thought about it because I was scared. You didn't think about it when you were.
When you were a kid, you
used to have to bring the hose through the window, and,
or to empty it. All right, hurry up. Suck.
That's crazy.
The fucking
pause.
Every night you go to bed, you just to the fucking floor.
And ladies and gentlemen, do not have a cat.
And a water bed.
No,
I don't have a cat in the water bed. I knew a friend of mine who had a cat, and the cat clawed his water bed, and he woke up in a pool of water.
Yeah, he pissed himself
because the cat. the cat clawed the water bed.
Been there. I've been there where you thought you pissed yourself. Nope, it's just a hole in the bed.
I've never been there.
You was just pissy drunk.
You had a few too many.
I definitely pass on that.
Oh man.
So with all these things that you got going on, like a typical day in your life, I mean, what time you get up? So when you got a day of training, DJing, maybe some podcasts. I mean, what does a typical day for you look like?
I don't sleep. For some reason, my mind is always moving. I don't know if that's a good thing, but I only need a couple hours to sleep.
Same here.
And I think in this day and age, when everything's moving so fast, and you're always thinking about either bettering yourself, or you're trying to you're trying to get things done. It's always on your mind, and I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but I never sleep, so I'm usually up by 5 o'clock, 4:30, 5 o'clock, or throughout the night. So
you probably don't
thinking about the next thinking about the next move, and trying to move forward on things, because we only got so long,
You're a night guy, man. Because I seen you out and about. You know.
I'm usually, but see, the funny thing about it is, if you see me out and about, I'm either working or doing something, because I'm usually a homebody. I sit in front of a recliner and just watch TV.
Well, I can relate.
Real simple, real simple. But if you got to train, there's always a different mind state for. I got a different mind state for everything.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? When you're going to, you got a different mind state when you're going to talk to kids. Different mind state when you're going to train. Different mind state. When you even what we're doing right now, it had to be a different mind state after dealing with my son. But we
so
had
flipping
that.
The switch is easy for you to get into whatever you attacking at that time. I gotta flip the switch.
Easy, because you got to get it done.
Well, because you have to adapt to every situation you're going to be in, right?
Just get it done.
Okay.
Just get it done.
I like it.
Because y'all would have been really pissed if I wouldn't have came here.
Hey, you know what?
Keep it real. If I would have told you I'm coming and then I don't come,
really,
that would have been a man of my word, and you guys would have been pissed.
Yeah,
but look,
no. On our side, we think, what did we do?
Well, things just wouldn't have worked out. I wasn't going to go drag you.
But I'm a man of my word, and that's another thing. I try to be a man of my word.
We appreciate that. We were going to pivot. We were going to do something else.
Yeah.
We were sitting here trying to write up some shit.
We were brainstorming. We were over here brainstorming.
What we got going on here? If you didn't show up today, we were still going to do a show, right?
Right. Yeah.
So.
But it was.
But see, the mind state was still having me here, and I had to make sure that we was all.
I wasn't angry. I was just like, oh.
No,
And this guy was This guy was about to cry right here.
No. I mean, to be honest,
The biggest motherfucker was about to cry.
To be honest, like. Because I do the same thing.
About to go and open up a Slits. Colt 45.
You know how it goes.
Yeah,
it's a beer.
Who doesn't know what Schlitz is?
I just ain't eyes.
It's more if we get to thinking. You get to thinking, going, man, did I message the wrong guy? Did I?
Am I getting past this?
Hold on. I had a question.
Yes, sir.
I had a question. I was thinking about this earlier. As I was putting my Timbs on this morning, I was thinking about, I knew we were coming to do this show.
Okay.
You had a deal with lugs. Is that right?
A lot of people, I had a lot of firsts that people don't know anything about. But lugs approached me about getting my own shoe. Right. And I was one of the first ones in MMA to get a shoe deal.
What's up?
Me, Machida. A few of us. Rampage.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we were. But I was one of the first ones that signed the shoe.
But I remember you. I remember watching you, and obviously you're from Omaha, so obviously we were all paying attention. But I remember watching the commercials for the lugs. And lugs was they were good.
Lugs was one of those shoes that they coming up in hip hop like all the other clothing and shoe stores at the time. But that was cool, man, for us to get some attention like that. And people don't realize that no matter what I was doing, I always try to incorporate back home, which was here. Yeah. In the situation.
Crawford does the same thing, right?
Like, but who do you think told Crawford to do that?
Oh, did you do that?
No.
Never forget home?
Yeah, never forget home. But he already had that in his head already to do so. But I just you always got to remind people, don't forget back home. Because Terrence, when I remember Terrence coming up in the ranks and I was doing my thing with the MMA, one thing they did was bring Terrence to the gym to box with me when he first started off.
So I work at a dealership here in Omaha.
Yeah.
We used to promote a lot of UFC.
The cards.
Yeah,
a lot of the cards.
Nissan of Omaha.
Okay.
Right? So
Nissan supported a lot of MMA guys. Yeah.
Right. Because the owner at the time, he supported a lot of what you guys were up to, what you guys were doing. But he told me one time that the owner has sparred against you. You know what I'm talking about?
I think.
And he told me, he said I never took a rib shot harder than anybody, from anybody else.
I mean, people. I don't think people know how how hard I actually do hit.
Right.
Until you're sitting right there in front,
Right.
And you, no matter how big you are or small you are, if you have good technique. And then this was talking about, but Mick Doyle was one of the guys that
Molina was his coach, right?
Yeah. He's doing good for himself with Skywalker.
Yeah, he's doing great.
He's a good coach. He's a good coach and he's a good guy.
Mm-hmm.
See, and that goes a long way when you're dealing with people, man.
Absolutely.
Like I said, respect. There's always a respect factor,
right.
And no matter what. Where you at in life, the respect factor should be always there.
Right. Absolutely.
And that was dope that he's doing this thing with Skywalker, and that we help usher in through Ryan Jensen and those guys. We help usher in MMA, to the masses from this area.
Right. Yeah.
When you look at your MMA career, who's one that you really look at working with that you got to work with that really help maybe change and help you the most?
People don't realize that Ryan Jensen is probably one of the better guys to come out this area, and Ryan was to me the most complete fighter. MMA is because he was one of the first ones I knew that was going to all these different camps, in the early 2000s to learn his trade, and that's why his place is doing so well right now too. But Ryan Jensen was probably one of the first guys I saw that was like, man, this guy is a monster. Mm-hmm. But I'm gonna, and this is I'm gonna say this publicly on you guys' podcast. Jason Brills. I don't know if you guys know who Jason Brills is. He was he's from here, firefighter. One of the most phenomenal wrestlers to come out of UNO. Mm-hmm. Jason and I don't remember Jason. He was probably one of he fought Nogueira. And he put Nogueira in a crucifix, I believe, one time. I almost had him, but he was one of the hardest guys to wrestle ever. I wrestled Jason Brills for 10 years and never took him down once. Now, this
just made you who you are.
10 years, and the last practice that we had before he retired. I finally took him down after 10 years.
That's why he retired?
No. He didn't retire because I took him down. But Jason, I'm saying on the podcast, I got you, man. Shit. But hey, after 10 years, I was probably the happiest moment of my life. It wasn't
Never
on
too
TV.
late.
It wasn't on TV.
Yeah, it wasn't the fight.
It wasn't a shoe ad or anything. It was taking this guy down for the first time after 10 years.
That's awesome.
But we got a lot of OGs as far as MMA goes that help usher in this new crop of guys. Anthony Smith, and all these guys came after us.
Anthony Smith, obviously the side of Omaha. Anthony Smith, he comes.
Anthony's from Nebraska City, right. I believe.
Well, Nebraska City.
Yeah, I believe
Bellevue area.
Yeah, I believe he's from Nebraska City.
Yep.
But really proud of all them guys, and again, it's always teach one and going on to the next. Mm-hmm. That's what I feel.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite of everything you do?
As far as
you DJ, you
dancing,
do art,
all of it, man. I put 110% in anything I do.
No
matter what, again, even if we're doing what we're doing right now, you don't want to. You don't want a guy to be sitting up here looking like a mute.
Right. The interaction has been great. Interaction has been great.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, no matter what it is, man, I try to put 110% into it. And it sounds cliche, but it's true, for real.
Well, a lot of us grew up literally watching you and always kind of, Who
was your favorite fighter coming up?
So the first UFC fight, that you had. I can't remember his name.
My first UFC fight.
So the first one that was a pay-per-view event.
It was Keith Jardine, and
it was.
Keith, you know what? People don't know that Keith right now writes film scripts.
Does he?
He's a director, and he people don't even know that Keith was in the Keanu Reeves movies.
Oh, no
Matrix.
No, not the Matrix.
Speed. You got Speed.
This the new
John Wick.
John Wick. He was in John Wick.
No shit.
When he went to the bar to go kill the Russian guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, the keeper's right there.
Okay.
So that's crazy.
So I'm gonna have to pay attention, right?
So,
yeah, he was my first fight on television.
One of my favorite fighters to watch was like Chuck Liddell.
Oh, okay. Everybody loves Chuck.
I mean, that's when MMA.
Danny used to look like Chuck when he was younger. Everybody would seriously. He had the whole look.
We'd be getting ready for World Finals, and I'd do a mohawk and grow this out.
Oh yeah, he'd have the look.
They'd be like, "Can you sign this for me?" Get that.
Yeah, double look.
Funny.
People do that.
Who was one of your favorites?
Rampage. I love. I mean, just to No Fear, you know. And
one love Rampage. And yours?
Honestly, I go to the way back. Kickboxer, I believe, Pat Smith.
Okay, I'm giving Pat Smith.
Yeah, I was a fan of his.
And yours?
Honestly, it'd be between Rampage and you.
That's crazy because one of my favorites probably even past and now. What was the kid from Gisistan, the one that retired?
Islam. Islam.
The one that
Makachev or something like that.
So the one that beat Connor.
Oh, you talk
Khabib. And the only reason why is because he was more like myself. You know, he was kind of subtle in his approach before the fight, and he just went in and just handled his business. You know, but you know, and kind of had the showmanship and all that stuff. But then this is when you knew somebody was pissed. This wasn't an act. This wasn't a Tyson Paul thing. When Khabib was mad at Conor.
Oh yeah.
I
remember I was sitting in the bar watching that fight.
Oh man, when you did this, and he was cool too. And those are the people you got to watch out for because Khabib was just sitting there like, yeah, okay, all right, keep talking, keep talking. And then as soon as he got him in the ring, man, he tried to break that man's jaw.
Right.
He tried to kill that man, and he was really pissed because he went after the corner. So see, that's when you know somebody that wasn't staged and that he really did not like the way this guy was talking about him and his father.
Right.
Who was that? Well, I believe he was deceased at the time.
He was running his
mouth. He was deceased, but he had died. He had died before the fight.
I mean, McGregor was running his mouth, and he was talking.
Again, that's just the showmanship.
Yeah.
But you heard him in the ring going, "Oh, brother, it's only business."
Yeah.
No, it's not business.
What not, brother?
What not, brother? Yeah, it's not. But he's one of my favorite ones.
Yeah, not in his world.
Yeah, because I think he that style of fighting that he came with, man. Those guys over in Russia,
they're monsters out there.
Hey, they don't play. They're training. They're training to hurt.
And not even that. They even when they're trained, like because they all train even when they're not. You know what I'm saying in camp.
Yeah.
And I mean they are so. They follow their diets and all that to a T. Like they don't eat bad, and I mean they preach all that.
Again, it's all mental.
It's all mental.
And guess where that mentality comes from? Their religion.
Yep.
Yeah. It's in their belief system. See, the hard work is in their belief system. They cut their hair a certain way. They follow a structure, and it's all mental. And because the physical part is always the easy part, but going to the gym every single day, grinding it out, that's the key.
Yeah.
Even when you're podcasting and doing what you guys are doing now, the key is making sure that you guys are all on the same page to come here to do what you do.
You know, the crazy thing is we don't even discuss. We don't discuss anything. We don't really discuss the person that's going to come on. We don't discuss the topic that we're going to talk about. This is all raw.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's the best way. We're just talking as men, or if happens to be a young lady in here,
but we're
just talking.
We're all on the same page. I mean, I don't know why. Maybe because we've been around each other.
We're all bald.
We're all bald.
Just extra knowledge without
That's what it is. Well, yeah, we don't have the hair in the way. Soaking it out.
Soaking it all up, right?
Oh man, the hair.
Well, we're
reminiscing over our hair.
We've had a few people abstract music. So Jeff Ram and Brandon have been in here, and
Ram,
DJ Doc's been in here, and
no doubt.
I mean, we had a bunch of people that were like, "You got to get Houston in here sometime," and weirdly, dude, you
and
like.
and the same. Is this the same doctor that had the radio show?
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
myself?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
No,
They were all
that's
like, he's a great guy. You got to get him in here and everything. And then a couple weeks ago, you had liked or you had started following our TikTok.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's a sign. I got to hit up Houston.
Right.
Well, man, and as long as people are not on any F-boy crap, I'm good, man.
Doc was in here a couple of weeks ago. Did his we interviewed him, right?
Yeah,
and he was talking about sneaking in on your show and learning how to do the radio shit.
Yeah, learning.
Well, again, Doc was one of those guys that you saw the talent in
when he was young.
Yeah, you saw the talent. He was actually doing the school events with us as well. He was beatboxing for the school event, and he and I kind of clicked, and then that's when we started doing the radio show. And again, Doc is a good guy, and him doing the things with the Tech 9 and all that stuff. Those are things that he earned. And so it's all good that he's a branch off of all the things that we had started with Hot 107.7. Over at NRG Media at the time, and a lot of people branched off from that, and that's why you got all these different entities in our community that's doing really well right now.
Right. See, and that's what we like to do. We like to bring those entities on here because a lot of people are missing out on some good stuff that Omaha.
Ram, does music. I had a radio show for at least 14 years where I played independent music, and Ram was one of the guys that I played.
Yeah.
And a lot of those guys, King ISO, reality from Tech 9s. I played a lot of his music. I played a lot of people's music independently that was here.
Yeah.
So and that's why even with the radio show that Shorty and I were doing, the Culture Shock Radio, trying to do the same thing, playing our music here and keeping it fresh by playing something we're familiar with as well. So.
Right. And we gotta applaud the local music scene has gone far beyond anything I ever expected them to do. Recently.
But see, I gotta cut you off on that one, man, because I think honestly we're kind of going backwards.
Really?
When I say we're going backwards, because there was more promotion of the artists before the internet days, because you was watching a lot of guys put out flyers. You was watching guys
doing the legwork,
putting that legwork, and not just depending on the internet. You know what I'm saying? So I think back then was a better time for independent artists, because just because you put your flyer on Facebook and Instagram and all that stuff don't mean that people are going to go and follow.
Most of it's a quick swipe. Next,
it's like next. So you have to do what Tech 9 did back in '93. He decided to go independent. And guess what? He started with the shows. He started selling the merch. Yeah. And matter of fact, a friend of mine, DJ Rip, and I we were at Tech 9's launch party for Strange Music in Kansas City. Right. When it was all these blood dudes and man. When they first started Strange Music and he started with the concerts, grinding, going to all the cities, selling the merch, and look what he's doing right now. Their whole company is independent, and what are artists doing now?
Trying to
be independent. So it's all good because you don't know how much money you're making from streams, and it's not you making the money from the streams, it's the labels anyway. So it's just crazy, man. I think, but it was a better time for artists back then, and I think artists get lazy because they think they just have to put a flyer on the internet. And people are just going to go see you. You got to go out there and politic just like all these politicians that are out there.
Right. So maybe my fault for not paying attention to the local music scene.
I try to pay attention to all of it.
Right. So I didn't until just previously, and just recently, I see this local music scene, and I think it's fucking great. I didn't have an appreciation for the local music scene before, and now kind of seeing everything. Obviously, you say we're taking a step back. Mm-hmm. For me, I feel like we're taking.
I said, there's a balance. I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say that it's not all the way good. Correct. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry, all the way bad. But yeah.
Well, I think you're feeling that the quality of artists has stepped up, and he feels more like the quality of promotion. Like
okay. I'll say
the connection outside of just posting a quick video.
But the thing is, before we had social media like it is today, we didn't have access to what this is now. Right.
You know, name the last group in our generation that made it big out of Omaha.
Shit.
Full clip. You got to say that, right?
No, but I'm not just talking about rap.
311.
311.
Oh, 311. Yeah,
And you know what's so crazy about
I'm
that?
not from here.
No, but hold up. You know what's so crazy about that? And this is about the time that Rage Against the Machine was bubbling in '93 when they came to Omaha.
And it's so sad. We're saying '93, and we're fucking 30 years plus that right now.
But guess what? Guess who did a graffiti piece for 311 before they left to Los Angeles? I did, right downtown, right before they left. I did. They had me do a 311 graffiti piece, and they all stood in front of it, took pictures, and next thing you know, they was in LA. So that's something. Again, I've been in hip hop for a long time.
Your knowledge of the hip hop game is awesome.
Especially in Omaha, though. You got there's a lot of guys that we don't even know about that helped start the culture. The Mario Scratch is one of the best DJs I've heard come out of this area, and DJ Suicide and the Young Rebels and all these groups that help establish hip hop in Omaha. They don't get mentioned because people don't know.
Another guy I know you're associated with is Babs.
Was that
Babs?
Yeah.
Babs is a friend.
Him and his crew back then. And this was during the Ranch Bowl days, guys.
Oh shit!
And he was him and his and he was Stephen, his partner. They was on stage with some Timberlands and sledgehammers, and I'm like, who is this? These crazy looking white guys up here.
Some old Insane Clown Bossy type shit.
No. I think they had khaki suits on. They had khaki suits on. You know what I'm saying? So,
I'm just saying the Timberlands.
But when you lose places like the Ranch Bowl, because Ranch Bowl was really a pub.
It was.
A hub for all the places. We was doing all these independent deals, and the waiting room is kind of like the same thing,
right.
But it was nothing like the Ranch Bowl because it was 1 week you would have Ice Cube there, then the next week you would have an independent artist there. The next week you would have a Cypress Hill, then you would have an independent artist the next week. So it was that cycle that was going on at the Ranch Bowl that everyone appreciated. Right. And I guess the waiting room is something like that right now, but it was back then again, it's more of the legwork that a lot of people had to do for you to be known.
For sure.
I had read somewhere that you had started a music label too.
It was early 2000. Again, it started with the radio station with Hot 107.7 because there was a crew of MCs that was coming from one of our events. His name was Capital J. James is out there right now. I know, and hopefully he see this. But James is probably one of the best freestyle guys I had ever seen. And we had a contest called the Fresh Fest, and it was at the Ranch Bowl. And we was the only probably the organization that had 3,000 people at the Ranch Bowl for the Fresh Fest.
So
DJ Rip, and James is one of the guys that was on stage, and he battled at least 25 people in a row.
Damn,
and I have all this on film.
Do you?
VHS.
VHS.
Beta tape. But man, we watched them eat up 25 guys in a row. And from that, that's when we decided to start the label.
We got to switch that from digital and get that shit online.
Man, I'm telling you, I got so many tapes that, it's crazy, man. Yeah. And this is when you know you're dated when you say tapes.
You say
VHS, beta tapes and all that stuff, though.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, we started a label called the Hustle Music, and I brought a lot of guys together that were really, really top notch guys who freestyle artists and good artists, and and they kind of dissipated once the radio station kind of left out, and all the nice spots started dissipating. It just again, you got to have some type of infrastructure for artists to breathe off of, man, and you gotta have a nightlife. You gotta have a nightlife. Yep. You gotta have promotion, and you gotta have all these things to set in place for artists.
Ranch Bowl was a beautiful thing.
Yeah,
and then we had the music box, and then we had now we're at the waiting room.
Yep.
We fucking need some more. I mean, we need more.
But in order for you to know who the artists are, they have to promote themselves, and they have to go out there, and they gotta do podcasts like this. They got to go and put the legwork in. Yeah. They got to start handing out the flyers and on top of doing the stuff on the internet. The internet is just one outlet. You got to have a structure in place to help promote yourself if you're that serious about yourself.
Yeah.
Period.
When you think of those independent artists that you've shared for so many years, what's one that kind of takes you back going, if he did the right things, his could have been something that people would know the name today?
Cuban Red.
He said that quick.
No hesitation. Cuban Red was probably one of the best I've seen and heard.
What happened to him?
Freestyle wise, and you know, some guys just, you know, when you don't have the push and when you don't have the support, I think you just stop doing it.
So
you just stop doing it.
He just quit doing it.
And I'm, you know, I don't know what he's doing to this, you know, to this day, but he's probably, and he's got a couple videos on YouTube. But he had the voice, he had the freestyle, he had the songs. Cuban Red was probably one of the better ones I've seen in a long time. Him and Fast Black.
Do we need to push for these guys to come back?
You know what? No.
He said no.
It just goes back to the drive. It's like he said.
You don't let if you know that you're a talent, you go where the talent is. So if you got to go to LA, if you got to go to New York, and you got to go to these places where music is being made, that's where you need to be, because Omaha is just a spot in a whole map of music industries that we need to be in.
Right.
And so that's why King ISO, I believe, went to the Kansas City,
Strange, yeah.
or went to a place where, you know, to get some help, because even with him being signed with Strange Music, and we know he's an artist from Omaha that's being signed, he is still not getting the proper radio play that he needs.
Absolutely, you're correct.
He's still not getting it. So we're still. That's why I say we're still behind on a lot of things, because why wouldn't a guy who signed to an independent label that's actually been doing pretty good get the radio play he deserves?
My thing is ISO's every day singing about, you know, saving lives and mental health and things like that.
Yeah, because he was mentally, when I first met with him, he was sleeping on a park bench.
Yeah, but I mean,
because he was mentally out of the game.
So,
but we're gonna play Wet Ass Pussy. You know what I'm saying?
I haven't heard the song Wet Ass Pussy. Thanks for letting me know.
So obviously with that, you know, with King ISO, you know, being that way, and not wanting to go to another, you know, whatever he. Listen, we love him, we respect his, you know, everything that he's doing.
Yeah,
but he's doing it for, you know, mental health. You know, from what I understand, right?
And he talked a lot about that, especially in the beginning.
Yep. So, you know, the person, I can't even go. I can't even do it. I can't even go there. So sorry.
What's that?
No, I can't do it.
What you can't?
No,
what?
I can't do it.
Okay, now you're gonna leave us?
No, because I'm not trying to talk shit, right?
No. You know, is it something that we can use information we can use?
No, because what you're saying is you know, Omaha isn't getting the play. But do you think that the Omaha rapper, not just him, not for anybody, did they become content?
Yeah, no, you're right, and see, that's what's so negative about that. Because you're right, because you know, a lot of artists get content with having their 10 people come to the show.
Right.
You know, they get content. Yeah. They might see their video on somebody's page. So, and a lot of people get content with that. You shouldn't be content with anything, even when you do your podcast. You should be content with just being local. You should always think, I want to broaden my
national person.
I want to
national recognition.
Not even national, international. You know, why can't we be the old town road guy? You know what I'm saying? Why can't we do it if the old town?
But you are international.
Yeah, so you got to be international.
We appreciate you coming in.
Hey man, you got to be international, brother. And I just happen to be international on a humbug, because they just think if my first fight would have came out in this day and age.
Yeah.
You know, just think about that.
Lost.
When my first fight came out, I was glad just to be on Yahoo.
Yahoo. I used to drink Yoo-hoo though.
Or Yahoo Sports. We were just glad to get on that. So, man, but I think an artist, you shouldn't be having to be ashamed to say that, man. Yeah, stop settling for less. If you guys got a podcast or any type of music or any type of art that you believe in, you want to get it out to people, man, and but that starts with you.
Yeah.
And if you're at home scratching your balls, you can't. It's hard to get that information out.
That's right. That's right.
So we could continue. We're at an hour and a half.
Oh, let's go.
Oh, that's lovely.
We're done.
Still.
I love you guys.
So
man, we can talk for days because again, we're touching on a lot of things.
Yeah, but we would love to have you back.
Yeah, it's all good, man. We're talking, but we're touching on a lot of things that people have around, the table when they're talking with their friends, and you guys been knowing each other for 20 plus years. That in between this room, there's a lot of knowledge that you guys are supporting each other in a way that's helping others outside of the podcast.
I was just going to say that.
And the people
we're asking questions that the people out there are asking each other amongst their little tables.
But it's not even the questions; it's the information.
Oh, just the conversations.
Yeah, it's the
conversations.
It's the conversation, and that's what we need. We need food for the thought.
Right.
I feel like we didn't even touch on most of the stuff that you have going on.
Oh, he's got so much.
I feel like you've been a part of us. In joining in with our conversation, man.
But when you're not fugazi, and when you respect the people around you, man, it should be easy. The conversation should be easy,
right? And we appreciate that, and I've enjoyed this one.
And for the record, Doc Beatbox has a big nose. Anytime I'm in a room with him, I cannot breathe because he takes up all airspace. He takes up all airspace.
That's crazy.
So on that note, that's what I would.
That's a good promotion right there.
Right,
Doc,
right.
have a good day. Fuck your feelings.
Definitely thank you for
He
being
said,
out
fuck
with
your
me.
feelings.
Here's me talking to Doc in the same room.
Oh, we appreciate you, Houston.
Yes, sir.
You can have this.
sir, thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you live.